Goowdill Final Selection Live. I was on earlier going through the store. So I did a final look, and this is basically anything halfway interesting. And so I'm going to go through it and purge, and also tell you why I picked it and why I'm not getting it. So this J. Crew, we've got the dots so we know it's factory. This adorable J. Crew sweater. I would have considered this for my Poshmark closet because it would pop, and hearts always sell, and stripes always sell, and it looks very Gautier. But I don't no longer sell this brand, and I no longer push this brand to my Poshmark store. So this is staying behind. Oh, how much was that? $6.99. House of Harlow, 1960. It's like a little bodysuit. This would have been perfect for Poshmark, but I no longer feed the store with non-designer. I'm just selling through what's there. This is $6.99, but that's not coming home. This I would have considered for me to wear personally, or to put in the vintage mall. Because this kind of thing, these oversized blouses with a little bit of interest, they always have done well for me. Ramie cotton, but I'm no longer feeding past an antique mall. I shut that down. So unless I want to buy it for myself to wear, there's no purpose in that one. So I will see if it will fit me. This I would have considered for my Poshmark store, but probably not have gotten it because I don't like the colors. I rarely would take in this brand, but I would have considered it. This I love.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. Nice.
Yeah, it is.
Buying it?
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah,
It's from the 90s.
I think that'll go.
100% wool.
Like a vintage catches.
Yeah, it looks good. I like it. 100% wool.
I think so.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, Vertigo Paris used to be a big deal in the 90s. It is missing a button, but the color's so great, and there's no moth holes, right? So, yeah, it's just a shame it doesn't have a button. I already checked the pockets. There's no extra button, which just sucks, but nobody cares. This is what I've learned about vintage, that can be dealt with. This I love because of the color. This I can sell in New York. So this is something I could sell in my New York environment for $9.99. So that goes over here. This is 100% wool and 100% silk equipment blouse. These do sell from time to time. Animal print sells, equipment sells. It just doesn't sell for a lot. But at $6.99, this is a high contender because I can sell that in New York. This I would have considered this for Poshmark, but I don't feed this store anymore. But you know, it's cropped and it's got a cute Netflixing. You know, it's adorable. $6.99. We're going to leave that for someone else. And thank y'all for I've got a number of y'all watching me. I appreciate that. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm just going through what I would have normally gotten. Betsy Johnson, I would have considered it, but then put it back because it's not interesting enough. Like, it's probably the worst example of faux fur that's out there. This is newer Betsy Johnson. I would have thought about it, but put it back for $7.99. I would have thought about that. So this is a definite. So this I love. This is Joie, 100% wool or cashmere. I don't know. I looked it up. I think it's 100% wool. This I can sell in New York. It's $6.99. So this is an easy. Plus it's got this modern cable knit on it, and got a little bit of pilling. No big deal. Let's see. Let's see what this is. See what it says. Wool. 100% wool. So yeah, that's a definite. I can sell it in the New York market. This, it's a shame it fell off the hanger, but so you're gonna have to use your imagination. These are black velvet shorts by a brand you've never heard of. This I'm gonna get because I have so many velvet jackets and velvet pieces of Moschino, and people have a hard time getting the other half. So this is a nice classic black velvet shorts, and I don't have to price it high, and it's a brand you've never heard of, but has a lot of look. Sus chick, whatever. So I'm gonna get that. I will be able to sell that in New York and mix it in with all my winter fashions, black velvet shorts as a winter. I could also rent that. This is Marina Rinaldi. They do sell this on Real. So I could either sell it there or I can take it to the Hamptons and sell at the pop-up there at $6.99. Super cute, and plus size is always nice. And it's not black. And everything I buy is black because it's my favorite color, and I lived in New York a very long time. But in terms of reselling, people like color. They like color for rental. People just like color, even though haven't been buying it. So this is Zanilla. Normally I would consider something like this. Thank goodness it has a stain, so I don't feel bad about leaving it behind. But it's just very dated looking. It is Zanilla, but $6.99. We're going to leave that behind, even though it's made in Italy. This is interesting. This is 100% cashmere and 100% silk collar. This is Ely Tahari, and I'm going to get this for myself. This is my size, and it's I love a French cuff. This is going to be what I'm going to get for me to wear in New York for when it gets colder. This industry brand. This is a classic like sailor style, and that guy could be sold in the Hamptons at a pop-up there in New York. Let's see, $6.99. So this is a contender. So this dress the population, they do sell this on the Real, but there aren't many listings. So it makes me feel like they're either not taking it anymore. Is probably what happens when you don't see many listings. But they do take this brand. So made in the USA. So I'm gonna probably take a chance on it to see if they'll take it. And $8.99. I can easily sell that at Crossroads if I don't have a problem with it. This is perfect for the antique mall, which I'm not doing anymore. So Alessandro Patucci. I looked this up and I didn't really find anything. So I don't know what the deal is. It could just be a fake name. Like, it is leather, we know from this. But I'll probably just... Is it leather? I'm beginning to wonder. I may leave that behind because I don't think it's leather now that I'm feeling it again. So we'll see. This is an interesting choice. This could be sold in New York. Paul Stanley. A beautiful houndstooth skirt. Paul Stanley has been mostly forgotten about, but it's big in the 90s and the 80s. But that is something I could sell in the vintage store, in the vintage pop-ups in New York. I would have considered this Gap coat. Hi, hello, Bacon Bro 12. I would have considered this in the past for my Poshmark store, but not anymore. This, I would have just looked at it just because of the brand, but then I would have said it's too faded to try to sell and left it. This one I would have considered for the antique mall when I had my booth there. This kind of thing, anything red, and then anything with a fur collar would always sell. Marissa Christina. So we're going to leave this behind at $6.99. This looks like an art to wear blouse. I don't actually know those brands, but this is very cool. This is something I would consider to buy for myself to wear. Just have some stains on it, so I don't know, but I just think it's cool. This is something that would easily sell at the antique mall if I had my booth still. $6.99. This Juicy, I would have looked at it, but it's the newer pieces, so I would have left that behind. Plus, it's the sleepwear. And we all know it's those little tracksuits people want. I would have considered this for my Poshmark store, but I don't do too much with Nike. So I would have pulled it like I did now and put it back at $3.99. It is on sale today. Purple is. This I would have pulled it and been tortured by it, Hannah Anderson, and then put it back because this is very Moschino with the clouds, but I don't do kid stuff. So I would have left that behind.
Okay.
This I would have considered for the antique mall because these little vintage style blouses always do well. At $6. But I don't feed that anymore, so that's answer is no. This I would have considered for the antique mall, this little black leather skirt. which even has its original button in the back, but it's no one you've heard of. D&K Classic, made in China. So there's no point. It's to the point where you can't even move a black leather skirt that looks like this, even at a buy-sell trade place. They're too common. If it were a pencil skirt, it'd be different. If it was a higher brand, it'd be different. This I would have considered for my Poshmark store, Hobbs of London, but I don't feed that store anymore. So it's $6.99. We're gonna leave that behind. This I would have considered for the vintage store, Catalina, Jaguar, California. I think it's 100% wool. Let's find out if it's marked. I don't see any markings. No. I would have considered this for the antique mall, but I don't feed that anymore, so we're going to leave that behind at $6.99. This one I would have considered for the antique mall, but then put it back because it wasn't interesting enough. And at $6.99. This I would have considered for my Poshmark store or the antique mall, but at $6, hard to make too much money on that. This I would have considered for the antique mall, St. John's Bay. I would sell so many vests, I can't tell you, of every conceivable type. Men's, women's, wool, silk, denim. But this I no longer do, the antique mall, so this has to stay. This is just an interesting old sweater. Feels like it's wool. There's no label or anything. I would have considered this for the antique mall because it's older. And that the vintage people love to shop there, but I don't feed it anymore. So we're going to leave it behind. Let's see what this is. What's the price? $8.99. Yeah, it's a good sweater. 100% wool, but it's not what I do. I would have considered this for the antique mall. It would have sold instantly. But this is not what I do anymore. These 80s look sweaters at $6.99. I would have been easily to sell that at the mall, but that's not what I do, so we're going to leave that behind. This little H&M dress I would have considered for my Poshmark store, $8.99, but there's really not a lot of money in that, so I would have hopefully left it behind. Leaving it behind now. This I would have gotten for the antique mall. The old Lands, yeah. 100% cotton. I used to have this, like literally, who knows, could that have been mine? I used to have that as a kid. My sister and I had matching sleepwear by Lands. That would have been great for the antique mall, but it's not what I do anymore, so we're leaving that behind at $5.99. Club Monaco, I would have considered this for the Poshmark store, but it's just blank. It's black. One thing, it has some interesting cuffs, but it's just too basic. So that would have taken forever to sell. This vintage 100% lamb's wool sweater would have been perfect for the antique mall. It does have a hole in it, so I would have left that. But it would have been great for the antique mall at $6.99. And it's on sale today, half price. And the PacSun would have been nice for Poshmark with the pink and blue, $5.99. But I don't feed that anymore. This would have been interesting for the antique mall. This little vintage skirt from this looks 70s. And this, and that's it. Okay, so all this we've ruled out. So what are we left with after this long video? An art to wear blouse that has a stain on it. Actually, it's got another stain, so we're going to leave that behind. We have the Paul Stanley skirt. That's harder to move, this brand, but it is a nice vintage brand. Could easily be sold in the pop-ups in New York. So I don't know. It's a fine contender. Dress the population. Okay, okay, industry. I am going to look this up before I buy it to see what it is. It's got a lot of look, easy to sell in the summer, I think. This I'm buying for myself, 100% silk and 100% cashmere. Oversized sweater by Il Tahari. This is for the Hamptons or for the Real. That's 100% silk, 100% wool. Joie sweater, that's for New York. The equipment sweater, 100% silk and 100% wool. 100% wool on this. Amazing green. Missing a button. This I will try on. Probably leave this behind. And then the last is the dress the population. So these are the finals. These are the final selects that I have. And oh, I'm reading my messages. Wow. This is why I don't go live. It's some real spicy stuff being held for review by the comments, folks. Okay. Anyway, so this is where we are. And I'm going to go through these and make my final selections. Probably, now that I look at it, I think this is definitely getting left behind. I don't even want to try it. Definitely don't want that. This is where we are. Let me know what you think. What would you have left behind? This is where I am making my final decision. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to my 1,000 subscribers, and this is the kind of content I bring. I don't usually bring it live, but I've been told live is really good for the algorithm, so that's why I'm doing a live. Hope y'all are having a great Memorial Day weekend. Bye from the Goodwill in Pasadena.